It's time to go through all of this. Let's just get started with the first box. So what I want to do today is go through all of my yarn, put it into Ravelry, make sure what I want to sell, what I want to keep, and let you know if I have any projects in mind. I also am planning my spring knitting right now, so I'll put some things to the side that I might want to use to knit on during springtime. So that will be a new video. This time I'll just go through all my yarn and just share my thoughts about the yarn. Change of plans. I'm gonna put things to the side that I'm gonna put into Ravelry because I need to photograph them. So I'm gonna make a few different piles and then put into Ravelry to keep, put into Ravelry to sell, or scraps. I'm not gonna put into Ravelry or for springtime. And also the yarn that I'm planning on using this springtime, I'm not gonna put into Ravelry, just because there's like new projects coming up soon. So here's the first yarn I want to talk about. This is both from Camarose. It is the Yaku and the Midnight Soul, which is their alpaca based mohair alternative. I was gonna make a vest with this, and I just need to put these into Ravelry, and I can just show you what they look like because I'm going to take a photo of them anyway. So here's Camarose Yaku, and then here's Camarose Midnight Soul. Colorway Lise Pink, and this is Lise Coral. So put into Ravelry. Then here I have leftovers from my boyfriend's sweaters. So I made him 2 sweaters and they just for some reason ended up in the same bag. So I have a little bit of drops Nepal mix that I use for his Guernsey Genser, and then I have a bunch of drops Alaska in 4 different colors, I think. So like cream, some, I think this was called Fog, and then the navy and this like coral color. So I'm gonna put those into Ravelry as well because I have some full skeins it's worth to put into Ravelry, is my logic into that. Then here I have the Rico Make It Tweed, and I have 3 of these. And I really want to use this for a sweater. It's really fun. It's like a really thin thread. And I think there's 400 meters in each of these, 445. So with 3 of these, you definitely have enough for a sweater. And I made some swatches before, also with this yarn. I'll talk about that later. And I think that would be a combination to make a cardigan number 8, the really like thick cardigan from My Favorite Things Knitwear, but not for now. But that was the project I was thinking of to do. So that would be really fun, and it really works, the Make It Tweed. So they look really cool. Into Ravelry. Then this bag is I swapped this with Taylor from Pearl Jade. She has a YouTube channel as well. You might know her. She is from New Zealand, and I had sent her some Noro yarn, Noro Kakigori, and then she sent me this beautiful Merino Arapawa DK yarn, and it is I have a whole kilo of it here, and that is in total 2,250 meters. So I have a lot of this beautiful yarn. It's this like almost like variegated, because there's like 2 slightly different colors in there. Light brown, grayish color. I really love this. And I was thinking of making the chunky cardigan with this held together with the make it tweed. And also I think this is more like an Aran weight and not a decade. So it will go a long ways. I almost think I could make 2 whole sweater projects out of this. Yeah, if I plan it well. So I'm gonna put this into Ravelry as well. I'm not sure if this type of yarn is in there, but otherwise I'll just take some pictures and make sure that it is documented. Then here is my entire bag of mohair, and there is more mohair in different places because I already assigned it to a project kind of, so put it with yarn that I wanted to hold it together with. But I have a few different mohairs in here, and the first one is this like not fluffy mohair, and it's this white, it smells so sheepy. It's kind of a thicker strand, so I do think you would say this is a lace weight, but it's just not fluffy. So yeah, maybe you can see the best in this thing. So it's just like a thin strand that is by chance like mohair. I don't know how else to explain it, but I had bought this from Color Mart, and yeah, I haven't really used it. I used 1 strand of this in my Claude cardigan, in the cuffs and in the like button band. I'll put in a picture of my Claude cardigan. I made that a really long time ago, but I bought this mohair not really understanding what mohair, I wasn't really sure what kind of mohair I was gonna get when I was buying this, and I also wasn't super experienced in yarn yet. So yeah, I'm gonna put this into Ravelry, although I don't know if I'll be able to figure out what yarn this was, but I'll put it into Ravelry. And then the same counts for all of this in here. I have some brushed alpaca silk that goes with in my mohair bag, because it would be a nice fluffy strand. I have a bunch of these balls, like 7 or something. I think so. And there is 140 per ball. So I do have enough, I think, to hold together for a sweater quantity. So that's this light blue alpaca silk, brushed alpaca silk by Drops. And there's some more in there, but I'll get it out later. Then I have this 1 ball of Lang Lusso, which is wool, silk, camel, and mohair. And I bought 2 of those, one in yellow and one in gray, because they were on sale and I wanted to try them out. Then I have some scraps of the brushed alpaca silk. So I have used this yarn in so many different projects already, including my YOLO clava. I'll put in a picture of that. Then I have 1 ball of Isager silk mohair in the colorway E0, and I bought this to make the poisoned apple top because it needs 1 ball of mohair because the whole top section is mohair. And I had bought this other yarn to go with it to make it, but I am already planning on using that this spring for something else. So I'm thinking of making the poisoned apple top with this, and then with either Sennis Garn Duo or the Dale Lerke, but I still need to buy that. So yeah, for now it just stays in my mohair stash. Then I have some purple mohair that I used for my Zodiac jumper, which is a 100% mohair jumper. And I used the African Expressions Hope in the colorway, well, yeah, 6557. And this is a mohair that comes with a strand of polyamide, and It is a South African yarn brand, and I bought this yarn when I was in South Africa. So that's why I wanted to try it out. But it has a polyamide strand and no silk. And I do think it makes the yarn a lot less sturdy. So I don't really prefer that, especially with my 100% mohair sweater. There's like holes in it because it wasn't really strong enough. Then I have a beautiful hand-dyed mohair, which is, well, there's like 5 of these. Here's the hand-dyed mohair. This is from Upmeska, and I bought this at a yarn event. And their mohair is called, well, it's just a hand-dyed mohair, but the colorway is called Pegasus. And I have 5 of these, which would be, yeah, enough for a sweater quantity. Although like kind of on the conservative side, because they have 200 meters each, 210. So yeah, I don't have that much, but that's okay. So that's that mohair, and then I just have some scraps. So I have, one beautiful thing. So this is all, these two are both drops, kit silk. This one in this light gray that I just bought like a little bit off, and I have some left over here. I don't know. I did use them for my socks that I've recently finished, the riverbed socks. But I just bought some gray mohair, I think to get free shipping. Bad idea, don't do that, I would say. And I have this golden kit silk from Drops left over from the gift that I made for my mom 2 years ago. Well, in July it will be 2 years ago for her birthday. I made a beautiful cardigan for her. And finally, there is this beautiful hand-dyed mohair that I bought at Loop London when I was in London. And it is by Filaine pour Loop London. And it's called Poi. Okay, I'm not gonna try to pronounce this word. I feel like it's not. Okay, Poilues. And it's a kit silk mohair. It was very pricey. My plan with this yarn is to make a hat with it and hold it together with like just a strand of maybe sport weight white yarn, so you really get this beautiful yarn to shine. Like if I take this off, you can see how pretty all the colors, so nice. So yeah, but I should, I haven't made that yet. Yeah. So that's my mohair. I'm gonna put that back in the bag, but I'm gonna put all of that in my Ravelry. Oh, and I have this amount left of mohair from Cowgirl Blues from their kit silk. I'm not gonna put that into Ravelry. I'm only gonna put things into Ravelry that have 1 full skein left or more. So then I'll weigh if I have leftovers. Like for these, for example, I have 1 ball and a little bit, then I'll weigh how much I have in total. But if I have less than a ball, I won't put the effort in. All right, I have 2 like strands of this. This is Drops like glitter, and this is the golden one. I just keep them in my stash. I'm not gonna put these into Ravelry actually, so they're gonna go somewhere else for now. Then I have this cone, and I have never taken this out of the plastic, so I'm not gonna do that now either. But this is a lace weight merino that I bought from Color Mart when I bought that weird mohair. And yeah, I bought this one, and then I've also bought a lilac one. And the lilac one I did use for the cloth cardigan that I was talking about, that I held together with the mohair. And I wound the lilac one 3 strands together to form like one big ball, so it was easier to use like as a fingering weight. But this one is still as a lace weight. I might use this one time, and I don't know, as a second strand, just as a lace weight strand. And there is like more than 2,000 meters in this. And it's this beautiful light blue, and it's kind of marled. So I think that would give a really beautiful effect to a sweater. So maybe if I need a mohair and I don't want to use mohair, then I'll use this strand. Then I have a bunch of felting yarn, and I don't know if I want to take this out because it's like packed in there. No, I'm gonna have to take it out because I'm gonna put it into Ravelry. So I have 3 colors in here. I have Fields Wolle from Philo Blue in the colorway 205. And I have tried to make what was I trying to make? I have tried to crochet a slipper, I think it was supposed to be a slipper, and then you put it in a washing machine and then it shrinks. But then at some point I decided to not do that because I didn't have enough yarn left over. I think this was like 3 balls and I had 3 balls left over. So, and I was thinking if I crochet it, then you can really feel the like bobbles on the bottom of your feet. So then I decided to knit a pair of slippers, which I did, and I did that with this yarn, and this is also left over. So this is a different brand, and I got it in like I got it secondhand from somebody online, with 5 of these balls or something, and then I made slippers out of them. But I kept these so I can maybe use them for accent for the other colors. So yeah, and then I decided, okay, I'm gonna knit these, but then I never did. And I know my brother wants some slippers, so this would be a good project to make. And then I have 4 of these, which is the same brand as the light blue one. This is colorway 206, and it's darker blue. So I think some slippers for my brother, and then with all the leftover colors I can make some slippers for my boyfriend because he likes colorful things. We're almost through box number 1. I have some mohair in here and it's really beautiful. I'll get it out. And I had so many ideas for this mohair, but it is also from Rico Design, Rico Essentials. It is this changing colory mohair, Super Kit Mohair Loves Silk print from Rico Design, and it is colorway 2. And I have 3 balls of this, and I did so many things with this. Oh my gosh. So here's like 2 whole balls that are intact, and then I have all of this that I unraveled, and that was a job, like a real big job to unravel it, because at first I wanted to make the Cherish jacket by Pop Knit, and I have the pattern and I still want to make that someday. And I held a strand of white mohair, I think, together with this self-striping one. And then I changed colors throughout this. And I also tried to crochet a raglan sweater with this yarn. And that's where the unraveling came from. Yeah, I decided I didn't want to have that sweater anymore. But that was a task. And now I am thinking I want to I have been thinking of making a 100% mohair sweater, maybe just freehanding one, because I like it when it's like one of those sweaters that you can just put in any bag. And I think this is super, super sturdy mohair with the silk in there. There is, yeah, 30% silk. So that would be a little sturdier, I would think, than 20% silk. Yeah, so I think a 100% mohair sweater is what I want to make with this. And yeah, I have a bunch of it because one ball is 375 meters, which is a lot for mohair. Mohair usually comes in a lot smaller size bags. So I'm going to put this away and put it onto Ravelry. All right, this is a lot. Like I said, I recently put all of this away, so it's like kind of annoying to take everything out again. But I really want to put everything into Ravelry, and I don't know, it's just, I think it's a lot easier if I have everything in Ravelry, because then I don't really have to do this that often. Because a lot of times I'm like, oh yeah, what did I have? And then I open up everything, take everything out, put everything back in, like maybe together in like, this could be a project together. But I think it would be a lot easier if I photograph everything and then put it into Ravelry. So I know what I have and I can just plan from there. So yeah, I'll start with this bag. This is all from Holst, and these are all Holst Titicaca, which is an alpaca, 100% alpaca lace weight strand to use as a second strand instead of mohair. So I have 3 balls of white, 3 balls of white, 4 balls of this beautiful color here. So pretty. So pretty. And then 1 ball of this lemon, which I really like. I love yellow. I don't know why, but I'm starting to love yellow a lot. So put that into Ravelry. Then I have these 2 bags here. 2 bags here with this yarn, which is Hobby Saphira. And I had a 3rd color, but I used all of that for my Amy slipover. And I really need to think of what I'm gonna do with these 2. They're like a DK weight yarn, and I have around 7 balls of this sagey green and then 8 balls of this icy blue. And I think icy blue would be really pretty with me. I think I'm like a winter, not sure. I might be a winter in like winter time, and then when it gets summer, I'm more like a fall type, like, you know, the skin color analysis stuff. But the icy blue should work well with me if I'm a winter type. So I should really make a sweater in this, or a cardigan, and it's a really nice yarn. Even though there's 80% acrylic in it, I have 2 garments out of this. Yeah, because I use this colorway for a vest together with the other colorway, the navy one that I use for my Amy slipover. So those 2 slipovers I use a lot, and it's a really nice fabric and it holds up really well. And I really just want to get this out of stash, and I want to use it. I don't want to sell it because I really like it, and I love this colorway. It has so many pretty colors in there, so I really want to use both. And I have also been thinking of making the sibling sweater by Laura Penrose, using them together as like a kind of low contrast sweater. But I don't know if I want to do that because they're both really pretty colors, and I kind of want them to shine on their own. So I'm not sure. Put into Ravelry. All right, that feels a little better. I'll start over here at the front. I have 3 of these. This is Knitting for Olive Pure Silk. And together with this one, I have a plan for this for my spring knitting. So I'm not going to be sharing that in this video. I'll go into more details about that later. And I have from Holst Garn, I have the Coast in this colorway which is olive. Oh yeah, and the pure silk was the dusty artichoke. And 2 strands of the coast together with this one would be my project that I'm thinking of. And if you follow me on Instagram, you might have seen it already because I started working on it already. So I'm not going to put those into Ravelry because they're spring knitting plan, and I'll be talking about the plan in the next video. So yeah. Then next up, I have this one skein of Eden Cottage yarns, and it's a lace weight yarn, and it's 75% superfine merino wool and 25% silk, and there's 800 meters in this one skein. So I have been thinking about making a top with this, and I mean, it is thin. It is thinner than a fingering weight, but I feel like I could make a fingering weight top out of this. I don't know. I would have to swatch. And I have been thinking about making the twist loop top, although I wish that was more size inclusive. But I'm gonna put this into a Ravelry, so I won't forget that I have it. Then I have 2 skeins of BioBalance from BC Garn in 55% pure organic wool and 45% cotton. And I have 450 meters in total. And I was thinking of making one of Jessie Maid's tops with this, either the mini mock neck tank or the ripple halter. I have both of those patterns and haven't made either of them. I think it would be really pretty. I might make it with this amount of yarn, although it's not a lot, but I could go up a needle size and then go down a few sizes of the pattern to get more length. Yeah, so that would be a really fun idea to do that. And I don't know when I'm gonna start doing that, but I feel like I should start doing that soon-ish. Then I have 2 of these skeins, and this is Malabrigo Arroyo. I have made a hat in this, which is the musselboro hat, in this beautiful colorful yarn. So it's the same yarn but like a different dye, different colorway. And it has been holding up super well. So recently I bought another skein of this in electric blue in their Matisse colorway for a hat for my dad. And then I also bought these because I just thought it was a really pretty colorway. And I want to make maybe a t-shirt with this for myself. So each of these has around 300 meters, so 600 meters total. So I might be able to get a collectee out of it. I'll have to look into what I would want to do, but I think that would be really pretty. I would have to alternate skeins though throughout because they're pretty different. Yeah, I think there's a lot more blue in this one. Yeah, but put into Ravelry. It's not going to be a project anytime soon. Then I have some Drops Drops Lima in this colorway. I have 5 balls of this. It's the color 9010. And yeah, I have 5 balls. I think 5. Yeah. And honestly, I just bought this one time because I thought, oh, I can always use a gray. And I never did, and now I just have 5 balls of this Lima, and I think it comes in 100 meters, so I have 500 meters of 50%, is it 50-50? Oh, 65% wool and 35% alpaca, and I have no idea what to make with this. Like I have 500 meters, what am I gonna do with 500 meters? And it's so hot, like I would say, okay, a t-shirt, but it's way too hot for a t-shirt, and then you have your arms uncovered. It's not enough yarn for a slip over. How is a t-shirt then? Okay, I think I only used 600 meters for my Coletti. I think I did, yeah. Yeah, I really don't know what to make with this. It's like a really awkward amount of yarn. I would maybe now that I'm thinking about it, I should just make like a scarf, like a nice scarf, and then gift it to somebody. That would be nice. Okay, that's an idea. I should put this into Ravelry because then I can just look at my yarn stash whenever I have ideas what to make. All right, so that's another Ravelry thing. Here's another one. I bought this Drops Bell. I have 8 of these. I can't believe I know all of this from the top of my head because these things have been in my stash for such a long time. So I have gone through these so many times. So I just remember. Yeah, 8. And it's the navy colorway or something of Drops Bell. And Drops Bell is this beautiful yarn you can use for summer knits. I think, here we go, 53% cotton, 33 viscose, and 14 linen. And I bought it to make the ballerina wrap top that was really popular a few years ago. And now I really don't know what to make with it. I have a lot of this. So one skein is 120 meters. So I could even 120 times 8 is 960, so almost 1,000 meters. So I could even make a summer sweater out of this. I would have to think what I want to make, but put it into Ravelry. I'm gonna go like this for a little bit. Then I have a yarn that I want to try to sell. This is, or like put up for willing to try, or will try. I want to put it into like will sell or trade onto Ravelry, so people can just like ask me to buy it for me. But it is this We Are Knitters, the Bling Bling yarn, which is a really nice, actually fluffy strand, but I just don't see myself using this for anything. I could like hugely stash bust and just use it for something, maybe held together for like a really thick sweater, but then I would just like be making something to get rid of my stash, and I really want to love just whatever I'm working on and love the things that I do. So they're each 210 meters for 50 grams. So I have like about 1,000 meters of this yarn, and I want to put them into Ravelry and put them up for sale, basically. So if you're interested in 5 balls of this, then let me know. I'll put it onto Ravelry, so you can contact me there too. Then we get into this really fun boucle, my boucle stash. So I have 2 colors of boucle. I have this brown and I have this white. I have white, I have 4 of them. Alpaca Boucle by Drops, and they're 140 meters each. And then I have this brown, and this is, yeah, it says hand wound wool. It's really funny. I was in South Africa, like I mentioned before, and I was at one of the farms where they take the mohair to use for the African Expressions mill, like where they make the yarn. And then they had a bunch of these like balls, and I just thought the color was so pretty because it's brown, but the strand in the middle is like dark colored, but then there's also some pink and some yellow in there. Really like it. And it turns out that this is just African Expressions boucle, and for some reason they hand wound it. So I can actually weigh how much this is right now. Yeah, so they're 60 grams each, and these are 50 grams each. So I do have a bunch of the brown yarn. I would have to look up what the specs are from the African Expressions boucle, if the weight to meterage ratio is the same as the Drops one. But I have a lot of this, like these are 60 grams each, so that's a lot. And my idea was to hold this together with a fingering weight, I'll show you later, cone, like a strand from a cone, and make the Gia zipper sweater. And I have been so excited about this sweater for so long, but I don't know, I have so many things going on all the time that I never really put any like priority to this project. And now I feel like summer is coming up. I mean, it's like the 2nd of March right now, and I already feel like summer is coming up. What is going on? But that is my idea with the boucle yarn that I have. And oh yeah, with the 2 colors would be really fun to do like the top part in one color and then the bottom of the body and the arms in the other color. Would be really fun. So I'm gonna put those into Ravelry, and I put these into with the specs of the African Expressions boucle, and also try to find out what colorway it is, because they just had it as leftover and it's just called like hand wound wool. But yeah, put it into Ravelry. Then I have some hand dyed yarn from Hobby Lobby. I have kind of a bit of that actually, because I have these 2 colorways. I have 4 of these and 2 of these. With the 2, I don't know what I'm gonna do. I just picked them up one time when I was in the US visiting my boyfriend's family. Elysian Dusk, these are called. So they're 400 yards each. I don't know, slip over. I was also thinking I wanted to make shorts. So yeah, I could use these for that. And then for this one, I have enough for a sweater's quantity. So I have 4 of these, and I had actually made a swatch before, but I don't love the way that this looks. I held it together with a strand of a cone that I'll show you later. A different one that I was talking about before. Yeah, and I was thinking of making the twist loop sweater, but I don't really like the way that the swatch looks that much. So I'm gonna be making something else with this. Also, I think it's so busy, but that's just hand dyed yarn, I guess. I don't know, I haven't really made anything, no garments out of hand dyed yarn. Is that true? I think I have not. But I might just need to hold it together with a strand of mohair or some other thing to tone it down, because so what I'm thinking is if I use mohair, then it's like more fluffy and it like tones it out a little more. Maybe a suri or a brushed alpaca silk would be good to tone it down, because I held it together with a whole fingering weight strand and it's still busy. So that's what I'm thinking. Yeah. And that swatch that I showed you, this for the Cherish jacket, was also with this yarn actually. But I didn't like the way that that looked. So I'm gonna put all this into Ravelry. This was the yarn that I had planned for the Poisoned Apple Top by Lily Kate France. And this is Novita Woolly Wood. And it's 70% tencel and 30% merino. Yes, I had that in my brain too. I have 3 balls of these, and each of them have 225 meters. So I have about little 675 meters, and these are gonna go into the spring knitting plans because I have something coming up soon and I'm gonna use this for. I've been swatched already, that's why this label is gone. So that would be in that corner, and I'll talk to you about that later. I think we go into the cones quick. Ta-da! Here are all my cones. These are all of them. Yeah, except for that one little one that I had over there. Okay, I'll put it here. These are all my cones. All right, so let's start with this one because I just showed you that one that I held it together with the hand-dyed yarn. This is Holst Tights. I'll just put it into different sections. So this is Holst, and this one is also Holst. Holst Tights, which is 70% wool, 30% silk. And I really, really like this. I want to make a sweater with it at some point, or I don't know. I have a lot of it. It's like 500 grams, I think. Yeah, I'm going to put it into Ravelry and see what I'll make with it. Then I have Holst Super Soft, which is 100% wool, and this is the colorway Sweet Pea. And I love, love, love this colorway. There's so many different colors in here. I want to make a cardigan with this, I think. And I don't know, I didn't really think about my complexion and this color because I don't think this color suits me, but that's okay. I don't know. I just really like the color. I just think it doesn't really, I don't know, whatever. Doesn't matter. Just make what you love, whatever. Yeah, and I am thinking about this cardigan that I would like to make with it, which is the Sasha cardigan, which I think is inspired by Fable Knitwear. Next cone is a cone that I thrifted in the US, and I am kind of bummed that I bought this. I think it was $6, and I was like, I found a cone of 100% wool in a thrift store. Yay! I don't know. But I don't use red. I do like the orangey red, but anything like darker than that, leading towards dark purple, everything like there, like Bordeaux, just not for me. And I know that's a current, like right now, not for me. Maybe at some point it will be, but I don't know. I might put it up to Ravelry and just say that I am willing to get rid of this for a small price. It is 100% wool. There are some things in here that is from North Carolina, Gastonia, North Carolina, from the Lane worsted mills. I don't know. Yarn. So that's a cone. I'm gonna have two more cones. One is this beige one. This is from J.C. Rennie. This one is J.C. Rennie. This was also from a cone, also J.C. Rennie. And then this is also J.C. Rennie. So 3 different colorways from J.C. Rennie. This is putty, and this is the yarn that is so smelly still. They're called greasy cones. They definitely say on their website that you should wash it before using it. I just didn't think it was going to be this bad. So for this one, this is part of a whip that I'm working on, the Aradia pullover. I did wash this, so I wound it off of the cone. I put it on my umbrella, I washed it, and still a little smelly. Just doesn't come out. So this is for my whip. I'm not going to put that into Ravelry, so I'm going to put that here. And then this one, I don't know what I'm going to do with it. I think I'm going to make a sweater for my boyfriend with this one, and I'm thinking of this one sweater. I'm thinking of making the Journeyman jumper by Knitwits and Yarns at some point with this yarn. It has cables at the top, but the rest of it is just stockinette. And I think my boyfriend would really like that. And I also think this color would really suit him. His color palette is a little more, I think he's like spring. So I think this would work with him really well. And then this color, I already wound a bunch off of this cone. This is the colorway Jade by J.C. Rennie, yes. And this is also for my spring knitting plans video. So stay tuned. So that's all my cones. There's another one of these. Then in here is all my like whips that we're just not talking about right now. Putting those away. Then I have a recent purchase, but it is stash because when you buy it, then it's stash, right? So I have a whole bag of this beautiful yellow. I love it. I love it. It's so bright. It's so happy. This is Sandnesgarn Tin Pirkint in the colorway Lemon, and I have 16 balls of this, and I am planning on making something that is part of my spring knitting plans. I was like thinking if I should do everything together, but then this video will be so long. I'm already filming for an hour, so yeah. I hope it's a little less after I edit all of this. So last box. So this one breaks my heart a little bit to like throw on here, because these are all like scraps and little amounts, and I really put effort into putting this in here, but here we go. Let's start with this one. This is really fun. This is called Sarah. I really don't know anything else about this yarn except for the fact that it's 100% viscose, and it has this beautiful blue sparkly thing, and I wanted to make a top with this. Like, actually I really wanted to make like a high neck sleeveless top, but I have 500 meters of this because I have 5 balls. Yeah, and I don't know what I'm gonna make, like which pattern I'm gonna make with it, but someday I will have a top with this yarn. Ever since I was a little girl, I have loved blue sparkle. Blue sparkle, love it. So that's one. Then I have a bunch of these little, I don't know how many, but I have so many. Baby wool color by Schachenmeier. And I bought these on like a little sale that someone did online. It's this light pink, babyish, baby pink. I don't know why it's blowing up. This color. Yeah, and I have just a bunch of these. I think I'll keep these because they don't take up that much space, and I do think at some point it would be really fun to make a baby sweater with these little balls. I have a few of them in this colorway, so with the pink, white, brown, and then I have a bunch of them in blue. So I have some more laying around, but I'll pop them in when I find them. So I'll keep those. But then here's another yarn I really want to get rid of. I have been swatching this yarn a lot. Oops. But it is also SMC, so I think that's Schachenmeier. Select silk wool, and the contents are 65% virgin wool or new wool, 27% silk, and 9% polyamide. And it is a really nice yarn, but again, this red is not my red. So I would go for the orange red, but this is already like too far. And I have been thinking of making a sweater for my boyfriend. I have swatched for the Traveler's sweater, The Traveler, it's called. Traveler by Andrew Mowry. But I decided that I don't think I had enough yarn for that one. Yeah, whatever. So I'm gonna put this up for sale on Ravelry. I have 10 balls or something. I have a lot of balls of this, but I'm gonna put that onto Ravelry for sale. And put my swatch in there too. There's a little swatch that I made before with this yarn. So I got that over there. Then we're getting into kind of scrap territory, stuff that I'm not gonna put into Ravelry. Although, kind of forgot where my pile is of not putting into Ravelry, but whatever. Here we have some leftover unraveled sweater quantity kind of things. This white one that I still need to think of what I want to use it, like what I want to use that for. And then the black one is, I made a cardigan number 7 out of that. I'm not going to put this into Ravelry. Then let's see if I have anything else in here that is worth putting onto Ravelry. I really think this is all just pretty much scrappy, to me at least. I do have this Drops Baby Merino, but this is really just my scrap graveyard. Like even stuff that I started and then unraveled. So this was the beginning of The Traveler by Andrea Mowry that I was making with this cone held together with my Simply Sweet Advent from Olivia and Oliver Fibers, and I just decided to frog that. I tried to like separate it, but then I decided, okay, it's not worth it. I just wound it together like this. This is also an unraveled project. This is the brushed alpaca silk from Drops held together with Drops Puna. And I wanted to make the mod tee with this, but it was too thick, so it wasn't really working. Yeah, I have some leftover here. There's just leftovers here. This is my leftovers from my riverbed socks. Some leftover from my Alpenglow. Then this one is kind of interesting maybe to put in there. This is that cone, but then the purple one, the lilac one, and it's the 3 strands held together. And I think I have around 500 meters of this like fingering weight yarn. So that's something. And then I have some scrubby yarns, and I have some glittery leftover yarns. I have some cotton merino leftover yarns. They are full balls, but this is like my scraps to me. And then here's all my swatches and some mini amounts of yarn. And then I have my sock yarn, but sock yarn is not included in this overview, so I'm not going to talk about that one. Oh, and I have 1 ball of the JC Rennie yarn that is washed, so it doesn't smell bad. Yeah, I was thinking to make a color work sweater with the JC Rennie and then have this as one of the contrast colors. So that's that. And then finally, I have 2 things that I have like designated for a project. Here is some mohair, Drops Kid Silk in the colorway Chalk. And then I have the Farmer's Daughters fibers that I bought at the store in Great Falls. Great Falls. I bought this in Great Falls in Montana when I was over there last summer, and I have 2 of this purple and 1 of this, and I am planning on making a slipover, the Friday slipover, and then stripe it, and then held together with this white mohair. So that's a project plan, but I don't know when I'm gonna start doing that. And then I have this 1 bag here that has my unspun in there, together with some mohair. Plotulopi in this moss green, and I have some Plotulopi in chalk. 4 of these cakes, and then 2 of these. So I am planning to make a little bit of color work sweater, but I'll talk about that plan later. And then here's some leftover mohair in the lilac and the black. So there's 1 more thing that is over there in a box. There is, well, a few more things. There's the Advent that I didn't use of Olivia and Oliver Fibers. Then I have some cotton that I'm also not going to put into Ravelry. Yeah, I'll think about what I'm going to do with that later. And then I have my sweaters quantity for the Maya cardigan, and I actually already started working on that one. So I also don't want to put that into Ravelry. So that's my Let Lopi. So everything that is part of WIP will not put into Ravelry. I really just want to put my stash into there. So I'll get rid of all the things that have been like coming back in there all the time. So right now I'm already tired from like talking about this, but I should take a picture of every yarn that I have that I want to put into Ravelry. So I'm gonna be doing that now. And yeah, so thank you so much for watching. I hope you really enjoyed this video, and make sure to subscribe and to look out for my spring knitting plans, because that video is coming up, and I've already showed you a little bit what yarn I want to use for my spring knitting, and I am planning to use a lot of my stash yarn. So be on the lookout for that, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye.